against Bitcoin.
It's going up forevermore.
You're against Bitcoin, you're against freedom.
Yo! Welcome to another episode of Simply Bitcoin Live, your number one source for the peaceful Bitcoin revolution, code-breaking news, culture, dramatic warfare. We'll be your guide through the separation of money and state. Holy cow, starting the year off strong, a 3K pump from 42,000 to 45,000. Everyone is so excited about this potential ETF approval. People are saying that it's going to be approved January 5th. People are saying that it's going to be approved January 10th. But what if it doesn't get approved at all? And we're getting these crazy price predictions as well. We have the legendary one and only Samson now basically saying $1 million Bitcoin. I know it sounds like pretty crazy. Like it sounds like absurd if you think about it. But there's also other people that are throwing out these crazy price predictions as well. I know, okay, let's talk about diminishing returns. Everyone's saying, you know, it's a lot harder for Bitcoin to like pump these magnitudes and this and that and blah, 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 blah. But that's the theory. Like that's the thing of this cycle. Like I agree with American HODL. I think people were so blue-balled, forgive my language, out of the last cycle, you know, due to the China ban. I know everyone says it's the rehypothecation of FTX and whatever. I really believe it's the China ban that really cut the last cycle short. But I think everyone has PTSD from that occurrence. Like Bitcoin just hit 69K. People were expecting 100K. That I think people they internalize that and they're like, there's no effing way. But if we go back to 2017, right? 2017, we went from like 1K to 20K. That's a 20X, okay? So even if we do half of that, even if we do half of what we did in 2017, I'm not saying that we can, but let's say we do. Let's run a thought experiment from here. That's $450,000. Maybe we do a 5X. That's still a ridiculous, a ridiculous multiples. So, I think that's the Achilles heel. I think that's like the thing this cycle that is going to catch people off guard. That's what my gut is telling me. I think a lot of people are buying into the diminishing returns narrative. I really see that. And if we were to learn from previous cycles, and if we were just to learn from things in general, Bitcoin does the exact opposite of what everyone thinks it's going to do. Last year, people were saying, okay, the top is going to be 30K, 35K, bada bing, bada boom. Bitcoin's at $45,000. It ended the year with 44K, right? For 42 or 43K. No one expected that. No one expected these crazy, crazy rises from Bitcoin. Now, I understand it's an anticipation of the Bitcoin spot ETF. Everyone is super hyped. You have Larry Fink, basically evangelizing Bitcoin, saying, hey, everyone's flying to quality. Another thing as well, you had Jim Cramer. I don't know if this is a good thing, or a bad thing, but Jim Cramer on CNBC literally said, you can't kill Bitcoin this morning. We have the clip for you guys. What world do we live in? Like, this is absolutely bonkers. One thing's for sure, though, I feel really, really hyped about 2024 in Bitcoin terms. I think this is going to be a phenomenal year for Bitcoin. I'm really, really excited. But like always, guys, this is Simply Bitcoin after all. Not your keys, not your cheese. So don't buy the ETF that's captured Bitcoin. Buy Bitcoin, whatever exchange you choose. Obviously, we recommend our sponsor, Swan. Buy Bitcoin, mine Bitcoin, earn Bitcoin, and take that Bitcoin into self-custody. Learn how to take self-custody. There's BTC Sessions has this amazing channel where he literally teaches you how to do it. It's very, very easy. So you have absolutely no excuse. Anyways, this is the first episode of Simply Bitcoin 2024. I'm extremely excited. I'm super, super hyped. I got my break. I got to spend some time on the beach. It was delicious. It was great. The water was cold, which doesn't happen very often in Miami. Usually it's like the water's like hot, like jacuzzi hot. But like, I guess it's like winter and stuff. Anyways, Opti, what'd you do this break, bro?
I did absolutely nothing, and it feels good to be back. Let's go, boys. We're back. And wait, can I?
You're not in a closet anymore. What's happening?
Yeah, I'm no longer in my dad's office.
When did you fly back?
I'm back in the stew. I flew back last Wednesday.
Did you fly back or did you walk back?
I did not walk back. No, that's a long walk. I still wouldn't be here. But guys, hold on. Before we start this show, can we acknowledge that Nico is already being bearish on the first episode of Simply Bitcoin? Couldn't be me. Can't relate, guys. Maybe 1 million's a little high for this cycle, but I think it's good. I think people are absolutely way too bearish out there, and this is a good thing. Shouts out to Vake because Vake gets it. So let me just read Vake's comment real quick because this is exactly what I think as well. He goes, diminishing returns narrative is wrong because network effects grow stronger the larger Bitcoin gets, which means it actually speeds up, guys. And shouts out to CJ Konstantinos. I always butcher his last name, but he's been saying that diminishing returns theory works in a commodity money. But what we're going to see moving forward is that everyone is going to be using Bitcoin as the monetary instrument. So it's going to change dynamics. But hey, no one knows. All we know is 21 million hard cap. All the world's wealth is going to eventually get funneled into the 21 million hard cap. And this is the way, guys. So the point remains the same. Make sure you're stacking. Make sure you're taking your Bitcoin into cold storage. And this is kind of what I'm going to be talking about today. I'm super glad we don't have a guest today because I wanted to do this yesterday, but we took a break. I'm going to be giving you my 2024 Bitcoin blueprint. It's super simple, guys. This is your goals for the year moving forward. It's always the same goals, but we got to get you guys heads on straight and make sure you guys are stacking and know why you're stacking. I had way too many conversations with friends over the holiday break, and it just blew my mind how little my friends and family are saving. And this is why we Bitcoin is so that you guys are saving in the best savings technology, period. So, going to give you the basics. And then all year long, I'm going to be reiterating the basics and making sure that every new person that comes onto Bitcoin, Simply Bitcoin rather, and Bitcoin in general, knows what we're doing, why we do it, and how to succeed moving forward in the midway parts of the 2020, man. Nico, we're almost halfway through this decade, like absolutely crazy. And Bitcoin's going to go nuclear. I am convinced it's going nuclear this year. The chat's going crazy. Shout out to the chat.
It's gonna. We miss you.
We miss you guys.
Anyways, yeah, we did miss you guys. We did miss you guys a lot. But
Simply Bearcoin.
we hope. Pull up that comment. We hope everyone had an amazing holiday season. I hope everyone had time to relax, spend time with the family. It was nice taking a break for the first time in 3 years. I felt life coming back to me after the third day, but I gotta say, I really wanted to get back into the folds. I really miss making content, and I really missed talking to you guys and hanging out with you guys. So we're really happy to be back, guys. It's gonna be a hell of a show. Strap in, get ready. Let's get to the numbers. Let's do it.
The Bitcoin numbers.
Is your Bitcoin in cold storage really secure? Is your seed phrase really secure? Stamp Seed's do-it-yourself kit has everything you need to hammer your seed words into commercial-grade titanium plates instead of just writing them on paper. Don't store your generational wealth on paper. Paper is prone to water damage, fire damage. You want to put your generational wealth on one of the strongest metals on planet Earth, titanium. Your words are actually stamped into this metal plate with this hammer and these letter stamps. And once your words are in, they aren't going anywhere. No risk of the plate breaking apart and pieces falling everywhere. Titanium stamped seeds will survive nearly triple the heat produced by a house fire. They're also crush-proof, waterproof, non-corrosive, and time-proof. All things that paper is is not, allowing you to hodl your Bitcoin with peace of mind for the long haul. Stamp your seed on Stamp Seed. Also, I do want to give a very special shout out to our Rumble and Twitter audience. We got 50 on Rumble, almost 50 on Twitter. Shout out to you guys. We really, really appreciate y'all. If you can't find us on YouTube for whatever reason, you could always find us on alternative video platforms. Also, guys, I made it super easy for you guys. You can use the QR code right now on your screen. You could scan it and it will take you directly to the Stamp Seed website. You can use promo code SIMPLY to get 15% off the entire, anything you want to get on the entire website. Use promo code SIMPLY. You get 15% off. Don't store your generational wealth on paper. Store it on one of the strongest metals on planet Earth. Store it on titanium. Put your generational wealth on titanium. At the time of recording, the Bitcoin price is 45,205 sats per dollar, 2,213. Block height 824,036. Blocks to halving 15,964. Halving estimate April 19th, 2024. Total Lightning Network capacity 4,945 Bitcoin. Capacity value 223 million US dollars. Realized monetary inflation continuing to take fiat currencies to absolute school, 1.75%. Market cap of Bitcoin, $885 billion, almost at $1 trillion. We are almost at $1 trillion, ladies and gentlemen. Bitcoin versus gold market cap, 6.43%. These stats right here, they're going to go, this one's going to go down ever so slowly, and this one, hopefully it goes up quicker. But these are the types of things that we'll look back in 5-10 years, and you're gonna see, man, you're gonna see this crawl up, and you're gonna be like, holy crap, we're at 75% the market cap of gold, and it's gonna feel really, really good. I mean, for us, maybe not so much for Peter Schiff. Anyway, speaking of capitulations, check this out. Jim Cramer, out of all people, he capitulated. He literally said on CNBC this morning, shout out to the team over at Swan that was able to capture it, and now it's making the rounds all over Twitter. He says you can't kill Bitcoin. You don't believe me? Well, I'll play you the clip, and then we'll talk about it.
And obviously, it had a great year last year.
Yeah, we got that clearing event of Sam Bankman-Fried going down, and that seemed to make people feel, you know what, we're safe. And then the ETF.
ETF, we continue to wait
endless
for the
ETF.
Right.
And look, it's very rare that I've ever seen that this way. Could it be a waiting for Godot? I mean, no, there won't be an ETF. But I do think that the people who are in it for that are going to use that as a chance to sell. But this thing is, you can't kill it.
No, can't.
And the late Charlie Munger, who was so brilliant on so many things, was blind to this. Now you can say, wait a second, maybe it's all going to come
Jamie
around.
Dimon has not spared any negative words.
No, but look, I mean, it's a reality and it's a technological marvel, and I think people have to start recognizing that it's here to stay. The SEC's been against it almost the whole time.
Yeah.
Now, that doesn't mean that every one of these is here to stay, but I do think that this is a remarkable comeback that was unexpected, and, except for all the bulls who turned out to be right.
Gensler does a lot of jawboning.
Didn't work.
A lot of jawboning.
He wants people to be in ones. So, I mean, when you speak to him, he just would like everybody involved to have to be like it's a registered security. And he failed. And I think even the Commodity Futures Trading Commission is not aligned with him.
All right.
So, I mean, like, what else you got to say? I mean, like, what else you got to say? Like, we point out this phenomenon all the time. We talk about Bitcoin's incentives, and everyone has bowed down to the king. Okay, you had, a couple years ago, you had the CEO of BlackRock, Larry Fink, saying this isn't any good. It's only good for money laundering. You had Kramer, who was a hyper skeptic, and now he's like, dude, you can't kill this thing. If you can't kill it, if you can't beat your enemy, you got to join your enemy. I guess that's the expression, something along those lines. And I think that's what you're witnessing here. I think you're seeing capitulation. But But if you've been here a minute, this is crazy. This is my 8th year in Bitcoin. I could have never have imagined all of this stuff that's happening if you would have told me years ago. Have things, like whether it's Michael Saylor taking a Bitcoin strategy on the public company level, whether it's El Salvador making Bitcoin legal tender, whether it's the legacy financial media in the United States being pro Bitcoin, I would have never have believed you. Has this thing grown up? How much progress have we made? It's absolutely incredible. And I'm going to tell you this, guys, the best is yet to come. The best is yet to come. Bitcoin's best days are ahead of us. And look at everything that's happened. We are still in the very beginning of this thing. We have no idea what it's going to do, what the consequences of a Bitcoinized world are going to be. Well, we have, some idea.
We have an idea.
But it makes me extremely optimistic, very positive about the future. While the fiat world is collapsing all around us, the lies are suffering from inflation themselves. The excuses are accelerating. The tyranny is accelerating. We're all protected by this beautiful orange force field that we call Bitcoin. Anyways, if you take self-custody, if you don't take self-custody, that none of what I just said applies to you. So definitely take self-custody and store your seed phrase on titanium. And you can do that by getting yourself a stamp seed. Promo code Simply. Anyways, Opti, what's your take on Kramer? I mean, bro, is it done? Did the bear market just start? Because it's inverse. There's the law of inverse Kramer, right?
Yeah. So, first on getting my cynical take. First and foremost, Jim Cramer being bullish on Bitcoin is absolutely terrifying, just considering the inverse Kramer never fails. But and then also, Jim Cramer saying you can't kill Bitcoin is absolutely terrifying. Like, just rip, there goes Bitcoin. It was a good run. It was fun while it lasted, guys. But no, like for reals. I do think that Jim Cramer is a lot smarter than we make him out to be. Like, legitimately, guys, after this last year, I kind of think like Jim Cramer is just towing the party lines. Like, they tell him what to sell and what to buy, and in the back end, he's probably doing his own inverse Cramer on the things he tells people on what's it, Mad Money or whatever. But there is one point though that he said that I find very interesting is he said that the ETF. Bitcoin spot ETF will probably be a sell the news moment, which means it's not going to be a sell the news moment, and it's going to absolutely pump. So there is some signal in there throughout the whole thing, and hopefully one of these inverse Kramers hits. And it's not so much that Bitcoin's going to die. Obviously, we're joking. We know that Bitcoin, last year, 2020, 2021, I forget the date now. It's all a blur. But we had a nation state attack by China, and Bitcoin is still chugging along. We're seeing at the very end of the year that the U.S. is also having a very negative bent. But then we're also seeing the biggest asset manager in the world trying to do their best to neuter Bitcoin. And so, we are in the then they fight you stage, and I don't think they can stop Bitcoin because of everyone out there running nodes, because everyone out there ensuring that they're taking their Bitcoin into custody. And there's going to be roughly around 1.5 million Bitcoin left or 2 million Bitcoin left till 2140. All these asset managers in the world are going to be fighting for a very small amount of Bitcoin, and most of the Bitcoin is in cold storage. So shouts out to everyone out there. And I forget the numbers, and I haven't looked at them in the last couple of weeks, and they probably haven't changed much. But what were the numbers, Nico? 70% of all Bitcoin hasn't moved in over a year or two. So most of the Bitcoin is being hodled. It's in cold storage. And so all these asset managers in the world, the BlackRocks of the world, they are going to do whatever they can to incentivize you guys to sell your Bitcoin. But we know we're not going to sell them our Bitcoin. You're going to hold that Bitcoin into cold storage. You're going to continue to eat up the supply and take even more Bitcoin off exchanges, and that feedback loop, man. The supply and demand economics, very simply, is going to do the work for us. The game theory of Bitcoin is going to be pushed into overdrive this year. I am fully convinced of this. I think we really are being very bullish or bearish in regards to what Bitcoin's going to do this year. As you brought up HODL, and he did the meme this morning of like, and maybe I'll pull it up for you guys later. And he goes, 80 IQ Bitcoiner, 3 green, 1 red candle in the cycle. Usually, historically, Bitcoin goes up. 3 green candles.
Oh, I saw
3
that.
years, 1 down. That's the cycle so far. We only have two points, on that data. But hey, 3 green, 1 red. We got 1 green candle last year. So if historically we are correct, we have 2 years of pumping, and you guys are bearish out there and saying we're not even going to hit 100K. Like, couldn't be me. Can't relate. 3 green, 1 red. This is known. It's written in stone. No, it's, oh, you got it. Let's go. Yeah. But actually, go do the quote tweet first. Show the chart BTC quote, the picture. Yeah, there you go. 3 green, 1 red. Pumps for 3 years. It goes down 1 year. And we have 1, 2, 3 data points on this. And if that pattern remains, we're going to have 2 more years of pumping. And then 2026, we'll have a red year. So, hey,
I love this though. Like it's like, and we're going to talk a lot about
Nico literally is the midwit meme right now. And I'm on the 80 IQ side.
Oh man, it's like no. What the fuck have I ever said that? That's not true.
You literally said this earlier. The cycle theory isn't backed by anything. There isn't enough data.
When the fuck did I say
you didn't
that?
say that. You didn't
When
say
did
that.
I say that? I
You never
said
said that. Okay, I take it back. You actually aren't the midwit. You are the 80 IQ Bitcoiner.
Okay, cool. I'm fine. We're both on the left side of the bell curve. Fine. Okay, I've accepted it.
Yeah, HODL's on the right side. We're on the left side.
Anyways, but I mean, like, bro, okay, in all seriousness, like common sense, okay? Like, it hasn't broken it yet. So, like, if it hasn't broken it, like, HODL's on point. Like, 3 greens, 1 red. Like, unless, like, this breaks, like, this doesn't apply. Cycle theory isn't backed by anything. This isn't enough data to infer anything from these patterns. Like, bro, like, you're wrong, dude, until this breaks. That's what I got to say about that. But I think HODL is on point like always. Anyways, I do want to give a shout out to our merch. Guys, really helps us. Help us support the channel. The way that you do that is you go to simplybitcoin.com and you can buy either a t-shirt or you can buy our hoodies. They both say Bitcoin or slavery in the stitching. We really do pay attention to quality and the details and all that stuff. And it really helps us stay independent, and it really helps us stay on air. So if you guys want to support the show,
Matthew, I already hear you. I know the hats are coming. We have been talking, again, like I've been telling you guys for, 2-3 months now, with a Bitcoin artist. We've been trying to get in touch with our supplier to get you guys the merch out. So we got some stuff in the works for you guys.
So yeah, if you guys want to rep the show and support the show, check out our merch. And Wine won't get upset with us. Anyways, let's hit the news. We have a lot to talk about.
The Daily News.
I want to give a shout out to our sponsor, Foundation Devices. It's self-custody done right. They built a premium grade hardware wallet called Passport right here in the US. It's fully open source and verifiable. It's the most intuitive Bitcoin wallet designed with a UX reminiscent of a simple feature phone. So you will know how to navigate it and use it the moment you pick it up. Get your Bitcoin off exchanges and into your own hands in just a few minutes. Experience the peace of mind that comes with taking ownership of your own keys. After a massive sellout during Bitcoin Miami 2023, the Passport is back in stock at foundationdevices.com. Bitcoin only, open source verifiable, completely air-gapped security model, gorgeous design craft, premium grade materials. If you're thinking about getting your Bitcoin off exchanges, this is the one for you. Check out the Passport link in the show notes below to learn more. All right, everybody. We got a lot to talk about, but before we do that, guys, check out the QR code on your screen right now. Take you directly to the Foundation Devices website where you can get yourself a Passport hardware wallet, guys. I highly recommend it. It's completely open source. It's air gapped. Has a camera on the back so you can scan the QR codes. Has an SD port on the top. I highly recommend it. Guys, if you want to get a hardware wallet for, someone who doesn't have experience taking self-custody, Foundation's the way to go. They also have an onboarding service called Concierge, and Bitcoin Q&A will literally handhold you into taking self-custody, right? So highly recommend it. Check out our sponsor, Passport by Foundation Devices. Not your keys, not your Bitcoin, guys. Okay, so let's talk about the title of today's video. Is a $1 million Bitcoin possible? It's such an absurd prediction. But guys, think about it. Like a 10x is 450,000 from here, right? So roughly a 20x would be a $1 million Bitcoin if my maths is correct. We did this in 2017. Like we've done this before. We've been here. So we went from literally the beginning of 2017. We went from 1,000. And we basically went to 20K. So it was an 18x in a span of a year. So we've been here before. Now, I know the diminishing returns people would say, listen, that's not going to happen. This time it was if we get all the way to the top, it was roughly a 6.5x. But I believe this cycle was cut short. I'll tell you why it was cut short. It was the China ban. I really, really believe this played a huge role. And not that many people talk about it. I don't see enough people talk about the Bitcoin price and the hash rate. Even though that I think it played a massive role, and I will make the case for that right now. Okay. So here is and let's zoom in a little bit and let's scroll up if I learn how to fucking use this. Excuse me. Okay. So, all right. So this is the China ban. Happened right here. Okay. This is the hash rate. The price literally fell with the hash rate, right? And why did that happen? Like, why did the hash rate start dropping? And why did the price fall with it? It was literally the CCP that banned Bitcoin mining within its borders. And that led to Chinese miners to sell their hardware to relocate overseas. Now, I think this was the second biggest event, and it literally took roughly like 9 months for the hash rate to recover. In my opinion, and again, I've spoken about this. I had a panel at Unconfiscatable in Vegas. I think it was 2022. And I've said this many, many times. I think that this was, after the fork wars, the second biggest consequential moment in Bitcoin's history in terms of testing Bitcoin's ability to survive while it's being attacked, while things are chaotic in the background. And I believe that this hash rate drop and the price that dropped with it cut the 2021 bull market short, right? So the hash rate dropped around here and the price went with it. And we only hit 69K. Now we're going into speculation right now. But let's say that the price of Bitcoin went from 10K and it hit 100K. That would have been an 8X, right? We don't have a potential China ban happening right now. The hash rate is located in Canada and the United States. There isn't just going to be some bureaucratic official, Elizabeth Warren. I mean, she's going to try, but it's not as easy as, someone just snapping their finger and then shutting down mining in the United States, as much as some bureaucrats would want to do that. So I think I have reason to believe that this cycle, not only because the hash rate is going to continue to go up, it's continuing to go parabolic, but also because of the spot Bitcoin ETFs and because of the amount of capital that is going to flow in. Because there's something that also, you guys, you have to remember about the spot Bitcoin ETFs, right? And the capital markets in the US, and they can't just sell paper Bitcoin. They have to, if they're selling Bitcoin, if people are buying those spot Bitcoin ETFs, they have to go out and buy that Bitcoin, right? So the price suppression that happens in futures is not the same it's not the same with the spot Bitcoin ETF. Now, that's not to say it's captured. That's not to say it's not captured Bitcoin. That's not to say that, 5-10 years from now, as the fiat currency continues to degrade and clown world continues to accelerate, the US government isn't going to 6102 all that Bitcoin in the spot ETFs. That's not to say that's going to happen, right? But it's a little bit different. And think about all the inflows that are going to happen. Like, you're talking about the largest asset manager in the world. You guys have been seeing the commercials. In fact, I have another one for you guys. So it's not only the most interesting man, the most interesting man in the world, a couple of others. All of Wall Street is just dropping these commercials for people to buy Bitcoin. I mean, I know it's not direct Bitcoin. I get it. I understand where you guys are coming from. But think about that marketing machine. Think about the millions of dollars that are being spent to market Bitcoin. And now all of a sudden, because you have to realize the consequence of this, if you're an asset manager, you can now hide behind BlackRock, right? So you don't have to put your job on the line. If Larry Fink says it's okay, and there is a regulated financial instrument of which you can offer your clients, and you have Michael Saylor getting these crazy returns with the Bitcoin strategy, it's not so risky to offer your clients this anymore in the eyes of financial advisors, right? So I really do believe that this is a major, major milestone for Bitcoin. And there's going to be massive amounts of inflows that could potentially be beneficial for the price. Now, we are a Bitcoin Maxi show after all. And what I got to say about that is that, yes, number go up might go up. Number go up might do its thing. But there's two things that are happening here. There's number go up and there's the Bitcoin revolution. The Bitcoin revolution is individuals taking self-custody. That is what will actually change things. Never forget that, right? So as much as you say, oh, BlackRock and institutions and nation state adoption, I don't care about that. If we want things to change, what we want is individuals taking self-custody of their wealth. There's two separate things happening right now. It's our job as Bitcoiners, as individuals, to convince people around you to take self-custody. The two first sponsors on our show are literally tools and products that you can use to take self-custody. In fact, it's so freaking easy. We made it easy for you guys, right? So you have no excuse, and your parents have no excuse. Because yes, it might be super easy to now buy Bitcoin on your Charles Schwab account and your Robinhood account. Oh my God, I bought Bitcoin BlackRock. This is so easy. But they will rug you, and they can rug you, and they have rugged people in the past, especially when governments get into a pickle. They get into a corner. What do? They seize the public's wealth. How do you protect yourself against that? Take self-custody. And you want to know why Elizabeth Warren is so against self-custody? That's why. Because she can't easily confiscate your wealth. Anyways, so here's another one of the ads that were dropped by one of these Wall Street institutions. So let's check this one out.
You know, it's amazing to me the tremendous impact that the home computers have had on everyone. And yet it seems that people I've talked to say that it takes you longer to do something by putting it into a computer and calling it up again than if you just kept simple records yourself in the house.
I mean, like, you know, it's not an exchange. It's not crypto.com. It's not Coinbase. It's not FTX. That commercial was very clear. Bitcoin's time has come. Now, where it's a bit of a misrepresentation is Bitcoin's time has come buy my shitcoin, buy my ETF, right? But we're getting there. We're getting there, right? It's a foot in the door. And for all the maxis that are like Nico, the ETFs are, guys, this was inevitable. Look, Bitcoin is for enemies. It's inevitable that nation states and these large financial institutions were going to adopt it. That was the natural order of things. If you want hyper Bitcoinization, this is what's going to happen. Now, the battle of our time, the next couple of years, is governments are going to use these ETFs to try to capture Bitcoin. That's what they're going to try to do. And it's up to us, the community, Bitcoiners, to really be the last line of defense and say, listen, as much as this ETF product is convenient, as much as it's accepted by Larry Fink, I would rather own the real thing. I would rather own real Bitcoin and have that Bitcoin in self-custody, right? So just something to keep in mind. Now, let's go back to the title of today's video. Here's Samson Mao once again, January 1st, so yesterday. It's a new year filled with new possibilities like $1 million Bitcoin. All the best for 2024. Now, we went over in the beginning why, you know, in terms of the last cycle's performances, you know, if we get a 10x, if we get a 15x, if we get a 5x, you know, you're talking about $250,000 Bitcoin, $200,000 Bitcoin. You're talking about $500,000 Bitcoin. These are very, very big effing numbers, right? And I just don't believe in that diminishing return theory. And I asked the audience, by the way, in the YouTube chat, I put out a poll about 30 minutes ago. 149 of you voted that you do not believe the diminishing returns theory is correct. So, I mean, and I also asked you guys, a couple days ago, and forgive my typo, by the way, in a community post on YouTube, I said, what will be the next cycle peak in 2024? About 26% of you said 150K, and about 26% of you said over 300,000, right? So 12% of you said 250K, 13% said 200K, and 23% of you said 100K. So the general consensus, I think it's right in the middle. Half people are feeling, you know, conservative with 150K Bitcoin, and half the people are feeling bullish with 300K Bitcoin. So let's take a look at, you know, other predominant figures in the industry. Let's take a look at what they're anticipating. Let's take a look at what they're looking for in the future of Bitcoin, right? So we have Cathie Wood, so several experts in the field, both individuals and institutions, are bullish on the price of Bitcoin moving into the year 2024. These forecasts can be seen below. So we've talked about Cathie Wood before. She has three predictions, actually. The conservative prediction, I think it's for 2029, 2030, or 2030 is $250,000 Bitcoin, then $648,000 Bitcoin, and then $1.5 million Bitcoin if we have these massive adoption, and that's by 2030, right? However, she said that Bitcoin could potentially reach 650,000 by 2024. I mean, Very, very bullish. Here's Mike Novogratz. I'm really curious to know if he still has that Luna tattoo.
Definitely.
He does. I mean,
I think so.
Holy cow. Maybe he like
Dude, how could you cover that one up? It was huge and colorful.
Speaking of tattoo, this is hilarious. So in 2021, he anticipated Bitcoin reaching 500,000 by 2024, even planning a commemorate. How do you say that, Opti? I can't pronounce
commemorative.
It. There you go. Tattoo for the milestone. So this man loves.
So he's
tattoos.
covering it up, covering up the Luna one.
Tattoo. He's covering up the Luna one with a Bitcoin tattoo. Shout out Mike Novogratz. Novogratz maintains a long-term optimistic view, believing Bitcoin will eventually hit 500,000, though not within the next 5 years. So, I mean, one thing and the other. Okay, so here's Tim Draper. Tim Draper says, billionaire investor Tim Draper, known for early advocacy of cryptocurrency, has adjusted his prediction for Bitcoin's value. Initially, Draper forecasted the Bitcoin would reach 250K by June 2023. However, he recently acknowledged that this target might be delayed until 2025. Attributing the postponement to an unexpected enforcement actions by the U.S. government, particularly the SEC. So we have, of course, the legendary Max Kaiser, one of the people that originally orange-pilled me, him and Andreas Antonopoulos. And the Kaiser report was a big inspiration for Simply Bitcoin, by the way, for anyone that doesn't know. He is, of course, predicting 220K Bitcoin. We have Fundstrat Research. Fundstrat, a predominant research firm, has set an ambitious target for Bitcoin, predicting it could soar to $180,000 by its 2024 halving. Standard Chartered Investment Bank, they're predicting 120K by the end of 2024. And here's Robert Kiyosaki. He is predicting 100,000 by 2024. And here's Adam Back. Adam Back placed a bet with our boy Vikingo. Shout out the 305 Miami Till I Die. And he was betting Vikingo that Bitcoin would reach $100,000 by the halving. So by the 31st of March 2024, Adam Back has placed a bet with Vikingo that it will reach 100K by then. I mean, that's basically like a 2x from here. So if Bitcoin doubles from the price that it is right now at 45,000, I mean, there you go. There is, there's 100K Bitcoin. So we have Jesse Myers, who's known as BTC Croesus on Twitter. And he is predicting that Bitcoin will surpass 100,000 after the 2024 block subsidy. And we have Arthur Hayes. Arthur Hayes is the founder of BitMEX, and he is predicting a $70,000 by 2024. But check this out, another $1 million prediction. He predicts a significant surge in Bitcoin's value with a long-term projection of 750K to 1 million by 2026. When I read those numbers, I get very worried about Opti. With $1 million Bitcoin, I think Opti is going to be in Vegas, and I will never see him again, and I am very concerned. So I hope it doesn't move up that fast. I hope Opti gets older before we get $1 million Bitcoin.
Yeah, you're too funny.
Oh man. Okay, so we have JP Morgan. JP is we all know how Jamie Dimon feels about this thing. They predict that Bitcoin could reach 45K by 2024. In your face, Jamie Dimon. It's already 45,000K. It's already at $45,000. We've already broken this prediction, and we have Benberg, the investment bank Benberg, has updated its forecast for Bitcoin, setting a target of 56,000 for April 2024. I mean, I agree. I think that this is very conservative. I think we'll definitely hit this. So I don't know. Guys, we don't speculate on this show. None of these are our personal opinions. But let us know what you guys think. Drop in the comments what you guys think. We are starting off the year strong. Do you think Bitcoin? What price of Bitcoin do you think it's going to hit in 2024? Do you think that $1 million Bitcoin in this timeline is feasible? Is it something that is so completely out of the question? Let us know what you guys think. I really want to know. But I just want to leave it at this. I think American HODL says it best. But before I go to American HODL, I do want to highlight Even Sailor's feeling bullish. In 2024, how high do you expect Bitcoin's price to soar? So even Sailor's thinking these questions. Obviously, he is. Shout out MicroStrategy, by the way. It's at 300% last year. So Sailor's crushing it. He looks like an absolute hero. What other public company is going to follow in his footsteps? We shall know very soon. 75,000 votes. And the majority voted that Bitcoin is going to hit 100K in 2024, 34%. And the second highest vote, which was 27.9%, people believe that Bitcoin was going to hit 200K in 2024. And I'm going to leave it at this. And I think American Hodl said it best. Let me see if this music is... It might be copyrighted, so I might not play the music, but you'll get the GIF anyways. And here's Squirtle from Pokemon, and he's playing the saxophone. I'll play a little second of the music. Perfect. You guys know what song it is. Anyways, so he says, quote, "Dude, what are you thinking when you say Bitcoin can go to 1 million this cycle? Don't you know you were just wrong? You said 500K last cycle. Why should anyone take you seriously? What makes you think it's going to 1 million? What indicators are you seeing?" And then American Hodl says it best, my brain, and it's literally this guy, Squirtle on the saxophone, not giving a flying F. So I really want to know, what do you guys think? What do you guys believe? Where is this going? Again, we don't speculate on Simply Bitcoin. We can't tell you what we think. But we can show you what everyone else thinks.
We don't speculate, but we just speculated for the last 15 minutes.
We didn't speculate. We were just showing you what everyone else is thinking. It's the first. All right. It's the first episode of the year. We got to start it off strong.
Hey, we got
to give the people what they want, bro. Okay. So
we're starting very strong and just doubling down. I really like this tweet by Hodl just to kind of show the degen math, as he said. Quick degen math. Bitcoin is only 22x from 1 million. It did a 20x in 2017. It did a 16x in 2011. It did an 88x in 2013. It's been 6 years since we had 1,000+% upward moves. We're due with the king gif here. It just goes to show, guys, that like Bitcoin price moving. I know like we're getting to big numbers now, so it seems a lot scarier. But as Nico kind of covered throughout this whole thing, like I think we're underestimating how much liquidity is going to get into Bitcoin. You know, we started with the China Bitcoin ban as one of the factors that really blue balled us in the last bull run. And then we didn't even touch on the fact that FTX had millions of Bitcoin, paper Bitcoin out there. And those were factors that skewed the Bitcoin price up and down. And now all of that's been cleared out of the way. And here we are moving into 2024, into the second leg of this bull run and going into the more defining point of the cycle where the price usually starts to run. So if the last bull run basically got neutered and now those factors are out of the way, I think this is my running thesis. Like I really do believe that this 2024 and 2025, the price is going to go absolutely crazy. And of course, you know, who am I? This is what I think. My original stint is I'm stupidly bullish, but I just think there's going to be so much liquidity going into Bitcoin. We're seeing that the biggest asset managers in the world are doing their best to get not only Bitcoin price exposure, but they're going to try to neuter Bitcoin, obviously try to funnel everything into an ETF, as Nico's been calling it, you know, captured Bitcoin. But I don't know if you guys were here in 2017, and that was basically all retail price movement, and it got absolutely frothy then. And now I think we're going to get way more media exposure this next 2 years. We're seeing every asset manager in the world going to have to educate their customers on Bitcoin. And then we're seeing all the corporate press talking about Bitcoin. We're seeing Bitcoin maxis be a part of the corporate press. And then just think about all these compounding when everyone and your mother and your best friend is all going to see Bitcoin price start to move. And they're going to ask you, wait, should I be buying some Bitcoin? So I've been saying it for a couple of months. I think we're seeing a perfect storm set up for Bitcoin. We're having the halving in a couple of months. Like everything is working in our favor. So, you know, shouts out to Hodl with the degen math. We're not going to speculate, but the price is going up forever, Laura. So I think it's just going to show very clearly that the Bitcoin price is going to go nuclear this year. And I really do think we are underestimating how little capital it's going to take to move the markets. Everyone knows that the Bitcoin price is basically moved on the margin by people trading their Bitcoin. And most Bitcoin's in cold storage. Most of the people that own Bitcoin are hodling it and just knowing that they own something that is extremely valuable. You know, infinity divided by 21 million, Bitcoin is the most scarce thing in the world. And if you're smart, or rather, if you're not a trader like most of us, you just hold on to it and know that this is my savings. In the future, it will be worth more than it is today. It's because 8 billion people are going to have to scramble for 21 million Bitcoin. Like, it has to go up. This is the simple basic economics. And then not alone to even talk about the mining economics of it, that the Bitcoin price has to go up for it to be feasible for the Bitcoin mining companies to be profitable. So like, we're seeing a perfect storm going on right now. And I really do believe that the force multiplier of liquidity and capital that's going to go into Bitcoin, I think we're underestimating. Now, is 1 million kind of like Nico said jokingly, you know, I don't want to see $1 million Bitcoin like in a year or two, not for my own personal health, but just because of that, the meme of the race to avoid the war. We kind of want the Bitcoin price to be a slow evolution upwards versus just like waking up overnight and now, you know, it's at 1 million Bitcoin, which would mean that something has really broken in the fiat world. So we definitely want to see a slow, gradual climb of Bitcoin. I think that's what we're going to be seeing all year. Of course, this is the beginning of the year, second day of 2024. So we are kind of speculating a little bit, even though we do our best to not speculate. All we know, though, is take Bitcoin into custody. It is going up forever. It has to. Let the BlackRocks of the world, let the asset managers of the world try to neuter Bitcoin with the spot Bitcoin ETF. Let Elizabeth Warren come out here and try to neuter Bitcoin with governmental regulations. It doesn't matter because we run the nodes. We take Bitcoin into custody, and more people are going to expand the network effects of Bitcoin. And it's just going to be a beautiful sight to behold. You guys are on the front lines. You guys have asymmetric knowledge right now. And the world hasn't woken up to the fact that they need Bitcoin. And it's just so beautiful to be a Bitcoiner at this point. It's just, man, hodl, make sure you have them strong hands, because you will have to make it through the hodl buyout zone. These people want your Bitcoin because they understand there's a problem. And the only solution, as far as I can see, is Bitcoin. So here we are, guys. It's going to be a very, very beautiful 2024, in my opinion.
100%. Before we move on to the culture, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to end the poll. And I asked you guys, is the diminishing returns theory correct? 67% of you guys said no, and 32% of you guys said yes. There was 190 people that voted. I also I do want to give a shout out to our sponsor, Kaboom Racks. They're the most trusted place to buy, sell, and host mining equipment. You got to check out their racks. You could do that by scanning the QR code. It will take you directly to their Telegram marketplace. You could check out their inventory and connect with a member of their sales team. They make purchasing their products easy and transparent. You could also sell your mining equipment with them. You could access their vast network of domestic and international customers when you sell your mining equipment with Kaboom Racks. So check out their racks. Check out Kaboom Racks today. All right, everybody, let's get to the culture. We have a lot to talk about. Let's check it out.
The Daily Culture.
Brought to you by SwanBitcoin.com. Swan is the best way to build your Bitcoin stack with automated Bitcoin savings plans and instant purchases, serving clients of any size from $10 to $10 million. We love Swan because they incentivize self-custody and dollar cost averaging. What are you waiting for? Visit SwanBitcoin.com today.
All right, boys and girls and boys, this is the culture where I give you guys some actionable advice, or I have guests on and we have great conversations. But I figured it's the beginning of 2024 and we're seeing a whole bunch of new people join the channel. And so I kind of want to just give you a blueprint for 2024. And again, as I said in the beginning, I was having conversations with my friend here. Let me do this. I was having conversations with my friends and family over the holiday breaks, and we've all seen the metrics. We covered the metrics and the numbers, the statistics and the data all of last year, just how little people are savings. And it really blew my mind. I was asking my friends, and I keep asking them the same question. You know, I poke and prod, and I'm just like, do you have any savings? You know, are you thinking about your future? What's going on? Are you living paycheck to paycheck? You know, I try not to pry too much into people's finances because we all know that it's kind of rude, or at least it's been portrayed as rude. And so my job here is usually give you some actionable advice. And I figured, hey, it's basically the first episode of Simply Bitcoin. I will be reiterating on this all year, but I want to give you a blueprint for what you should be doing going into 2024 and the rest of the year. If you're new here, you just happen to find the channel because of the title, you know, because we did some good clickbait. Well, I want to give you guys what you should be doing all year. This is the game plan. This is the blueprint for every single one of us. This is what you do as a Bitcoiner. You change your behavior because you realize, hey, I'm holding on to the most valuable asset in the world, and I have to have strong hands. I got to be ready for this. So let's go into this. I just have a simple blueprint. I even have, you know, some wallets to talk about. So first and foremost, guys, I hope, even if you haven't read it, you know, I took this first point from The Richest Man in Babylon. It's a great book and a classic 100-year-old financial book. It's a novel, but I tweaked it. The Richest Man in the Citadel. It blows my mind how many of my friends are living paycheck to paycheck, and it actually absolutely kills me. So everyone asks me, should I be buying Bitcoin today? You think the Bitcoin price is going to retrace? I don't know, man. I capitulate my fiat as quickly as I get it. And as you see here, again, this is from The Richest Man in Babylon, but I tweaked it. The Richest Man in the Citadel. Just take 10% of your paycheck. Put it aside, never touch it. That is for future you. Pay yourself first. This is the way, guys. You want to save something. And look, the asset managers in the world, they're doing what? 1%, 5%? Well, minimum 10% of your paycheck you should be saving in Bitcoin. Never touch that. That is for future you. If you're like me, a degen Bitcoiner, then you do half of your paycheck. I was living with my parents. I did half of all money coming into Bitcoin. This is the only reason I'm able to do this with you guys today, is because I save money. You need to have capital to be able to be an entrepreneur, to be able to live the life you want to, which means you have to save some money. Next one, guys, secure the bag. We've been talking about this all day. You know, wallets, I'm going to name all the wallets. You need to make sure your Bitcoin is in custody, in cold storage. You have your backup, not on a piece of paper in your sock drawer, on titanium, on something that will last. And here, wallets, I do this I do this constantly. I'll probably have to do this multiple times a quarter. But wallet, I update this constantly. You know, first and foremost, you know, maybe people think this is bad practice, but I think it takes steps to get to a cold storage setup that you know is secure. First and foremost, most people just download a mobile wallet on their phone. It's better than keeping your Bitcoin on an exchange. So mobile wallets that I like: Blue Wallet, Green Wallet, Breeze and Phoenix, and Wallet of Satoshi are Lightning wallets that I think are awesome. And then Nunchuk. Nunchuk's been super awesome. You can do a multi-sig setup with your mobile wallet. Absolutely great wallets. These are the wallets I recommend. There's some new ones that I'm going to try to experiment with for you guys so that I'm updated. And, you know, I'm always looking for a cooler, sleeker wallet. Desktop wallets, of course. I think it's a rite of passage. Download Bitcoin Core, do the initial block download, do the process as I think it was intended to do. But there's also Sparrow and Spectre, which are basically some more bells and whistles on top of Bitcoin Core. I absolutely love Sparrow. And then you can be an Electrum junkie like Nico. Once something works, you don't have to switch it, guys. Just make sure that you have your Bitcoin secured for long term. This is the goal. And then, of course, there's hardware wallets like Passport, our sponsor, or Cold Card. There's Jade. There's Seed Signer if you want to buy it off the shelf. Buy parts off the shelf. Build yourself a Seed Signer. Absolutely epic. These are things that I recommend. These are things that I use on my setup. And I just highly recommend, if you don't know what wallet to start with, maybe start with a mobile wallet and then work your way towards doing either a desktop wallet or a hardware wallet, or even considering a multi-sig setup. And then the next thing, and of course these are in no particular order, you need to have unshakable conviction, guys. And by that, I mean you need to educate yourself and you need to understand why you hodl. Once you know why you hodl, the hodl becomes easy. And I'm telling you, this year is going to get crazy. We're going to get bombarded by so much FUD and so much anti-Bitcoin propaganda that if you don't know why you're hodling your Bitcoin, you might not make it through the hodl buyout zone. Again, why are you going to exchange the scarcest asset in the world for literally unlimited paper IOUs? It makes absolutely no sense. Yes, we have to gauge the Bitcoin purchasing power in fiat terms, but Do not exchange your Bitcoin for paper IOUs. This is the way. All right, next one. I say it all the time. You guys heard me say it all year. Fit mind plus fit body. This is the way, guys. Like, money means nothing without your health. And if you're simply sacrificing everything for more money and you are putting your health on the back burner, that is a failure. Make sure you are in warrior strength going into 2025. This year should be a pivotal year for you, and you want to be in fighting condition, guys. You cannot do anything if your mind is hazy and your body is weak. You want to be a warrior. This is a revolution, like we tell you guys all the time. You need to be mentally fit and physically fit. And then the last one, guys, create value. You need to build your skills. You need to build businesses, solve problems, solve rich people's problems. This is the best way to make money. And like I say all the time, the best way to stack sats is probably to get paid in Bitcoin, guys. So if you are able to exchange your skills, your services, your goods, your products for Bitcoin, I highly recommend this so that you can stack in a way outside of just, exchanging your fiat for Bitcoin. Join the Bitcoin parallel economy and join the Bitcoin standard. And guys, also on this point, do not feel shamed into having a fiat job and stacking Bitcoin. This is the way as well. That means you're still a Bitcoiner. Do not think that you just have to go all in on Bitcoin. You only need to get paid in Bitcoin and that's the only way you're going to be a Bitcoiner. No, literally exchanging your fiat for Bitcoin is the way. As I said in the beginning, you need some capital. So you're going to have to use your fiat job so that you can save in Bitcoin. And then at a certain point, you will feel okay and go all in on Bitcoin. You will create a Bitcoin job. You will, be completely on the Bitcoin standard. You will only interact with Bitcoiners. And kind of on that last part, I should have put it here, is build your local community, guys. Someone said in the chat, here, I actually have it right here. The most dangerous people at times are your friends and family. Well, this is why you want to be surrounded with Bitcoiners. I know it's going to get frothy. It always gets frothy around this time and everyone goes to Bitcoin meetups. But you want to ensure that the community around you knows what is going on. So again, part of that unshakable conviction is educating your friends and family so that they know why we do what we do, and also so that they become Bitcoiners. And again, guys, number go up usually brings more people in than not. So this year, I really do believe that as the price goes up, as we've been speculating the whole show, it'll become easier to orange pill your friends and family. And as we see in Clown World, the fiat world is literally number go down technology. It degrades every aspect of society. Your purchasing power goes down. And when you're on the Bitcoin standard, we always show you the life priced in Bitcoin website. And if you've been a Bitcoiner this last year, your life got what? 150% cheaper than it did the year before. Literally everything got cheaper if you're on the Bitcoin standard. So again, I wanted to do this one on the very first episode of 2024 because it's really eye-opening if you have these conversations with your friends and family, and no one is saving any money. And I'm not saying you're going to save your way to prosperity, but I'm saying you need to save some capital, pay yourself first, and then, as I said in the very end, create value, build your skills up as a person, as someone that is providing value to society, solve rich people's problems, convert the profits into Bitcoin. This is how you can take over in 2024. And I've been saying this all the time. I don't know how many times I've said this on the show, but I'm fully convinced it's never been easier to dominate in 2024 when everyone is asleep and you have this asymmetric knowledge to stack Bitcoin and to improve your life and literally be the goat of your bloodline. And they'll be like, I am so happy my great grandfather was stacking Bitcoin, and they'll have your face over the fireplace in an oil painting. And they'll be like, that is the goat that changed the trajectory of my bloodline because he was saving in Bitcoin. This is what's going on, guys. I am convinced 100% that 2024 is going to be a defining year for Bitcoin. We're seeing the asset managers of the world start to want Bitcoin exposure. We see the politicians and the unproductive class trying to neuter Bitcoin. So you got to run a node. You need to take Bitcoin into custody. You need to stack sats as much as humanly possible, capitulate your fiat as quickly as possible. But of course, as I say all the time, PSA, pay your bills first. Make sure you're able to pay rent, eat food. You need to survive. And then again, fit mind, fit body, guys. This is the blueprint for success in 2024. Do not let the shitcoin scammers and the grifters convince you otherwise. What you need to do is stack as much as humanly possible. You need to sacrifice a little bit now to live the life you want to in the future. And it's literally this simple. It's easier said than done. But if you do it, your life will improve. And I can only tell you that because I've seen hundreds of my friends do it. Nico and I have done it. And this is the way, guys. You need to have some capital saved up so that you can live the life you want to live. This is the blueprint for 2024. I will be reiterating on this all year long because more and more people are coming to the channel. And the reason I do what I do is because when I got into Bitcoin, I fell for all the shitcoin scams. I've wrecked myself. I've lost more Bitcoin than I'd like to even tell you guys. But these lessons don't come easy. You can listen to us, understand that this is the blueprint, or, you can put your hand on the stove. But I'm telling you guys, it's as simple as the blueprint that I gave you. You need to pay yourself first. Take some of your paychecks aside. Don't touch it. Live within your means. Build your skills. Build your value. Create a business. And get on the Bitcoin standard. And of course, be a part of the parallel economy. Anyways, Nico, I felt like this is a good message for 2024 to start the year. And we'll be giving you guys lessons throughout the year and things we've learned. And of course, we're going to bring guests on so that they can tell you their stories and their thoughts and all this good stuff. But first and foremost, guys, this is the blueprint for 2024. Bitcoiners are taking over today. It's never been easier to dominate because everyone else is walking like headless chickens in a daze, and we have the best money in the world. Make sure you secure it.
100%, dude. First of all, that was inspiring. They don't call Saint Opti, Saint Opti for no reason. So 100%, bro. Guys, this is such a beautiful moment and time to be alive. This is going to be a great year. I'm looking forward to it. We had a great 2023. Thanks to all you guys. Really support for the channel. It really means the world to us. This is the beautiful part about Bitcoin is aligned incentive. So we're all going to win this year. Obviously, Sailor has more purchasing power, so he's going to benefit a little bit more because he's able to stack more Bitcoin. But everyone benefits equally in the sense that, those gains, that Bitcoin going up, it's going to benefit everyone equally. There are no special privileges in Bitcoin. So like I said, the best is yet to come. This is just the very, very beginning of the story. And guys, when 50 years from now, when you're going to be talking to your grandchildren or your family and whatever, you're going to be talking about the good old days. These are the good old days. We are living the good old days. These are the moments that you will never forget when we were fighting the monetary demons in the battleground of the internet, in the digital trenches, out memeing them. You will never forget these moments in your life. And the question that you have to ask for yourself is, what side were you on? What were you doing during the separation of money and state? What were you doing during this disintermediation of information? What side were you on? Were you on the side of the collectivists, or were you on the side of the individualists? Were you on the side of freedom, or were you on the side of slavery? Were you on the side of central bank digital currencies, or were you on the side of Bitcoin? And when the dust settles, you will never forget that. You will never forget what side you were on. So buckle up, take self-custody, properly secure your seed phrase, do it on titanium, and it's going to be a hell of a year. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed the first episode of Simply Bitcoin Live. We're back. We'll be back. We'll be back with the meme review in full force on Fridays. Opti is going to be dropping in hot. Maybe we do it Wednesdays as well. I don't know. Yeah, let's do a meme review tomorrow, Opti. Why not? Let's do a meme review tomorrow. Let's do a meme review tomorrow. We got to give the people what they want. But we love you guys. We're really happy to be back. Thank you guys so much for letting us take a break. really, really helped with our mental health. It's really a grind making content. I'm not gonna lie, it really, really is. And if you do that progressively for 3 years straight, it really starts to
You go crazy.
yeah, it really starts to take a toll. And what a lot of people don't know also is that my day job is at Swan. So I manage the Swan channel and I manage the Simply Bitcoin channel. So it's very, very taxing to say the least. But I hope you guys enjoy the content. And we really put our heart and soul into it. Also, shout out to the rest of the Simply Bitcoin team. We would not be here without them. Sophie, Ani, Jax, Morpheus, and of course, our head of growth and, the mastermind behind the Simply Originals, our boy Rustin, who's going to be dropping some fire content very, very soon. Rustin's going to be taking it up a notch this year. Also, our master editor, John, of course. The Simply Bitcoin team and crew is very thankful for you guys. Like I said, we would not be here without you. Our boy Zach, our awesome writer. And am I missing anybody, Opti? We have so many people these days.
Just
and our boy and Isaac, who is literally running the business.
and everyone that's gonna fill in on the Wednesdays. We got a roster of people. Shouts out to Mike Hobart. We'll have a few more people that fill in with us. But you already know the deal, guys. We love you. We appreciate you guys. Spread all the Bitcoin signal. It's all about getting people on the Bitcoin standard. This is the way. This is how we win. It's people holding the best money in the world. Freedom money. Wait, hold on.
You're against Bitcoin. You're against freedom.
Boom. Exactly.
Now listen.
Let's go! 2024 coming in strong.
All right, guys. We will. If you guys enjoyed the show, you know what to do. Smash that like button. Consider subscribing if you feel like we provided you value. But the number one thing you could do to help push the peaceful Bitcoin revolution is share Bitcoin content. Don't share shitcoin content or altcoin content. It's counterproductive in our opinion. Even though we respect all content creators, share Bitcoin content. Doesn't matter.
Shitcoin is bad for you.
Don't be exclusive of what Bitcoin content you're going to share. Share all Bitcoin content. It's okay to disagree. Bitcoiners, it's okay to disagree. We all have a different approach. But we love you guys, and we'll be back tomorrow for another episode of Simply Bitcoin Live. Peace out, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your day.